Business ownership is not for the faint at heart. Decisions and challenges business owners face day to day most often decide their business's fate. Hi, I'm Todd Sachs, founder of MeetLocalBiz.com, and I'm here today with Kelvin Abrams, the owner of Tiki's Playhouse in Glen Elg, Maryland. Kelvin, thanks for meeting with us today.
Thanks for having me.
So Kelvin, tell us about Tiki's Playhouse and about the business and why you started Tiki's Playhouse.
Tiki's Playhouse is a cageless boarding facility. I like to call us a boarding facility versus a kennel. There's a difference. And the concept came from the loss of my dog. I had a dog named Tiki. He was a Weimaraner. It was the loss of my dog. It took it really hard. I had to put him down at 11 months, 3 weeks, and 3 days old. So I started the business after him. I was going through a tough time with my career, loved it, but I just traveled a lot. And I just wanted a better place for dogs to be. I always traveled and left one of my dogs in the kennel and just never liked coming back to the traditional kennel, picking him up. And then so once Tiki passed away, at that point it was just one of those life-changing events. And a week and a half later, went down Baltimore, Pratt Street, and we're incorporated, Tiki's Playhouse.
What was the point where you decided you were leaving corporate America, that job, the stability, the paycheck, and what was the turning point? I know you lost Tiki. But what made you say, you know what, I'm starting my own business?
It's something that I've had since I was a little kid. My dad has been in business 40-something odd years, and it's something I thought about ever since I was a little kid. I used to have, like most kids, a little lemonade stand. Used to sell stuff out of my bedroom window to friends, and so it's something that I always had. And I tell people, a lot of times nowadays, I tell people, an entrepreneur is not made, you're born. You're born an entrepreneur. It's just something that you have. And what made me decide to do it was just, I thought about it in college. It's something that years ago that I'd been thinking about. And like most people, I let life get in the way, I let career get in the way, family get in the way, and I just totally forgot about it, or put it on the shelf, if you will. And then it was the loss of my dog that I just kind of said, hey, some people talk about being in business and some people do it. And I decided at that point to stop talking about it and actually do it.
Tell me about the passion every day. You get up, you're a very passionate person, obviously successful in what you're doing. What fills you personally? What's that passion that you get from owning Tiki's Playhouse?
First is the commitment that I made to my lender. And that I would give everything I had, do everything possible to make this a success. The second is the commitment to myself. I told myself that if I was given the opportunity to actually open a business, that I would, again, give everything possible, give up friends, give up family, give up, social life, and actually look for a better future for myself.
You mentioned lender. What were your startup costs in starting Tiki's?
Wow. Now, let's see. I guess the startup cost would probably be somewhere between $110,000, maybe $120,000. Howard Bank is my lender. They've been very supportive the entire time. And most of the startup costs just came out for the build-up. We had a building here that was built in 1901. So we had to actually make this building suit our needs. So that's where a lot of the costs went in.
How much out-of-pocket money did it take?
I didn't have a lot of out-of-pocket money, and I think I actually came to the table a little less than about $30,000 that I'd invested in the company, and that's one of my biggest faults. I really wish I would have had a lot more money, seed money, or just capital starting a business. A lot of my debts now is due to the amount of loan that I had to take out for the build-up.
Sure. You started in 2008?
August 2008.
August in 2008. And how many employees do you have now?
Currently 2. 2
employees. How long was it before you started to actually receive money, a paycheck?
Well, as a business owner, I think you never really receive a paycheck. But initially, the first year I received a paycheck. Once the economy hit and it just tanked for everybody, I made the conscious decision to put my paycheck aside and constantly invest everything that was there into the company. So I stopped receiving a paycheck, I would say October '09, I remember that vividly. And I just started again receiving a paycheck, very minimal paycheck, this year, January 2012.
Wow.
So it's been a very tough 2 years in this.
Do you recommend for new entrepreneurs starting out to have a business plan?
Absolutely. I can't tell you how many people talk to me and say, I want to do this, I want to do that. And I ask them, where's your roadmap? A business plan is your roadmap. As you know, your business plan will change from time to time. I started this business with private suites, and from private suites I had to revamp it to offering kenneling services, just because you have to constantly change your business plan, and it's a roadmap to your success. So without a business plan, there is no business, there is no success.
What have been your greatest challenges in running a business from day one?
I think finances. Cash is king. That's what people say. I hear it all the time. Cash is king. So I think finances has been the difficult part. The business has steadily, over the last 2 years, the business has definitely increased revenue every year, but then also with the revenue increase comes your expenses. So expenses are very high. So I think, again, if I would have started the business with a little bit more of my own seed money up front, then I wouldn't have had to borrow so much money, which would have counteracted the expenses and the revenue. So I think the very difficult thing is finances, and I think that's what a lot of people get in the mistake of starting a business not having enough capital.
Yeah, great point. I think that's probably one of the largest reasons businesses fail is they're
Absolutely.
undercapitalized.
Undercapitalized. Cash is king.
Yeah, cash is king. What have been your biggest rewards?
I think just waking up every day, giving thanks, of course, every morning to God that I'm here and I'm blessed to be able to do this. The freedom of just being my own boss. It comes with a lot of freedoms, it comes with a lot of rewards, but it also comes with a tremendous amount of stress. But I think the reward is giving back to people, allowing people to experience your service, and just being able to help people.
If you had to summarize in one or two statements of what has contributed most to your success, what would they be?
I think it's the dedication and determination that you have to go into a business with. I mean, you have to go into the business and leave it all on the table every single night and just wake up the next day, no matter how tired you are, how much your body hurts, how sore you are, you got to get up the next day and give 110% more the next day. So I think that's been the rewards so far.
Yeah. Do you ever experience fear?
Every day. Every day I experience fear, and I think the fear is not being able to provide for my employees so that they can pay their bills, fear of not being able to pay my bills business-wise as well as personal, fear in that you're not doing enough. And the fear I go to bed with and toss and turn with all night long is that I'm not doing enough. Kelvin, what didn't you do today to make your business successful? What can I do tomorrow to make my business more successful? So it's the fear of not doing enough.
Other than finances, what other challenges do you face today in running your business?
Where I'm out in the country here in Glenelg. So the challenge I face is marketing. We've sunk about $100,000 in marketing the first year that we were in business. And I can't tell you how many people today drive past and say, oh, I didn't know you were here. So that's one of the big challenges we face. The other challenge I think I face is dealing with this economy. This economy has really hurt every business, including my business. People aren't traveling as much. My business is predicated on boarding, people traveling, and they just aren't doing that.
Sure. Employees, you have two full-time employees. How do you hire the best and brightest employees?
It's been difficult. I've gone through a lot of employees. I've had a lot of good employees, but it's just difficult. And I think what I found out is it's not the employees, it's me. I put a lot of pressure on myself to try to look for the best and the brightest employees, but I have to realize we're in a different generation. I'm 42 years old. The kids nowadays didn't grow up with the same work concept that I grew up with. You were late if you showed up at 7:45 and you were supposed to be there at 8 o'clock, you were late. So it's just a different concept, and I have to learn to adapt to it. But I think it's difficult finding the right employee, and when you do find the right employees, that's what's going to make your business grow, because the people look to you, not only you as the business owner, but they look to your employees to satisfy their needs. So my employees are an extension of me, so you really have to hire key employees.
Sure. How about education? Do you recommend MBAs for entrepreneurs starting a business?
I don't have an MBA, so I really can't answer that truthfully. I would say you don't need one, no. It's just about the passion and the drive and the determination that you have in your heart. Without heart, you can have an MBA, a PhD, doesn't matter. If you don't have the heart, if you weren't born to be an entrepreneur, I just don't think entrepreneurism is not for you.
So Kelvin, is there a slogan that you live by?
Robert Frost had this book or a quote or a poem. It said, miles to go before I sleep. So I have miles to go with this business, and I have miles to go personally with the goals that I've set for myself. So miles to go before I sleep.
Excellent. Kelvin, you know what we're doing with Meet Local Biz. You're a member of Meet Local Biz, and what do you see as the most important aspect of what we do?
I think the biggest and the best aspect of what you guys do is you offer video. And I think video is the way for future customers, potential customers, to actually see the business, to see the product, to get a feel for the owner, to be able to meet the owner, come into his or her establishment and see the product before you buy it. That's what definitely led me to you.
Great. Anything else you'd like to add today?
Well, for anyone who's looking at being an entrepreneur, first, again, cash is king. Second, be ready to give everything you have each and every day for as long as it takes to survive, because that's what you're going to need.
I think that's great advice. Kelvin, thank you very much for meeting with us today.
Thank
really
you.
appreciate your time, and your story is exciting.
Thanks for having me.